thanks for joining me. This is podcast episode 56 and it's come surprisingly quick after my last episode. Well, the recording has. We'll see how long it takes me to upload this up to YouTube, because sometimes it can take up to a week. But anyway, thanks for joining me again, and thanks to everyone who watched my last podcast, because it was the first one I'd recorded for a good couple of months, and I really appreciate everyone leaving their comments and messages to say that they'd missed my recordings and they welcomed me back. So that was really lovely. Really lovely, thank you so much. Trying to get back into the swing of it really. So this is Sunday. What day did it say? It's the 7th of June today, 2020, and weather's turned a bit miserable here in Bedford, UK. It's been a bit drizzly today. We had storms yesterday, which was quite exciting, and a lot of heavy rainfall, but today is overcast and drizzly. But I'm glad that we had the rain, because it was good for the garden. So I'm back so soon because of not recording for a while. I had lots of things to share, or I have lots of things to share, and I didn't quite get round to everything in my last podcast. So I thought I'd record again today and show you a bit more. I'm going to start off with socks. So as I said, I'd broken my wrist, so I wasn't able to little crochet for a bit, and these socks, which I've made for my daughter Sophie, were the first thing I made. I cast on, first knitted thing since my cast came off and I was able to do it again, and I had more movement in my wrist. So Sophie's my eldest daughter, and she'd requested some socks, and she wanted yellow ones. We do refer to each other as Team Yellow, because we both like the colour and both like wearing yellow. Such a happy colour, and yeah, we both love it. So we refer to each other as Team Yellow. So she wanted some Team Yellow socks, and I wanted some vanilla socks. I wanted to make some vanilla socks. I wanted something simple, something to get me back into the swing of knitting and the rhythm of knitting round and round. I'm using the magic loop method I did with these. So the yarn was some of my yarn that I dyed. It's the banana colourway in the Friends sock set. So to make these socks, I used 150-gram skein of the yellow, and then I used almost 20 grams for the contrast brown. Yeah, I think I probably used about 16 grams in total, 17 grams, to do the cuffs and the toes. And you can see I've done a little bit of striping just to blend it in, which I think works really well, and I like it, and I think they look great on the camera. But I was a bit lazy and didn't pay too much attention to my jog, so I have got a bit of a jog there, but let's not worry about that. To the nice side. Just a simple flap and square heel turn there. Sophie's size feet are UK 7, I think, which is a couple of sizes bigger than me. And I do find that they're always a bit big for my sock blockers, so they are hanging off the edge, but that's okay. I'm tempted just to cut up a pair of cardboard shapes, the right size for her, so that I can put them on. But I do like these sock blockers. I've had them for a little while, very popular. I purchased these ones from Loop London a little while ago. You can get different sizes. I'll have a drink of my water. I'm feeling quite parched today. As usual, I've been rushing around. So yeah, the way I dyed them was non-specific, but I have got almost like a stripy pooling effect, which I've got hair on here somewhere. I quite like, actually. I wasn't expecting them to be like that, but I'm not too unhappy with that, the way it's done that. It does sort of look a bit stripy. So yeah, those are the Team Yellow socks. hold them that way. And so I didn't use a particular pattern. I used my 2.25 red lace cable needle to do the magic loop method. Now, I had said a couple of podcasts ago that I wanted to move down to a 2mm needle to knit socks, and I still do. But the only thing is that because Sophie's feet are bigger and her ankles are a bit wider than mine, I decided to stick to the slightly bigger needles to get the size. What I could have done was gone down to the smaller 2mm needle to get a tighter gauge and put more stitches, because these are a 64 stitch. But yeah, I just wanted something easy and comfortable to do. So I knit them on the 2.25, and they're fine, absolutely fine. I think with socks, the tighter the gauge, the better, and I am fairly loose knitter. But nevertheless, I think they were okay. So yeah, so I've done those now and shown you, so I'll be able to give them to her, because I finished them a little while ago and only just did the ends, but the idea was to wait until I'd shown them on the podcast before she could have them. But yeah, very happy with those. That means I've got no socks on the needles at the moment, so I have to rectify that. Sure, that's not too difficult to rectify. So yeah, that's a bit of knitting I finished. I will show you now some patchwork I've done. So I just fancied doing a little bit of patchwork. Hold it that way. And this is, it's a lovely big cushion. Little mini 9 patch squares that make up a Irish chain design. So if I hold it close, this square is plain white, this square is the 9 patch and plain white. But if you hold it back, you can see the effect of the chains. Oh, I love it. It looks great, doesn't it? It's a nice big feathery cushion. I've got loads of cushion pads stashed everywhere. So I had the pad already in my cupboard. The prints are just from stash. You only need little bits, and you know, just pick them out of my stash. And then this is the Kona solids in snow, which I use a lot. And I've just put a board around. It's the same, well, not exactly the same, but I've done the same front and back. And I'll show you what I've done. I think I might use this method again. So for the opening, I might go over it so it's not so obvious. Might have to fix that. But however, I've used this popper tape that you can buy. I think I probably got it from Amazon or eBay. Can't remember. But yeah, I've sewn that on. And it's worked well. I've quilted, let me open it up. I've lined it and quilted it, so it's got some bamboo wadding in there and the plain cotton to line it. And then, like I say, I've used this tape, this popper tape. It's a type of thing you see on the bottom of duvet covers. I'm just thinking I must remember to look at the camera, not at myself. So yeah, it's the type of thing you get on the bottom of duvet covers, and I bought some. What kind of meters of it? Whatever, I can't remember. 3 meters probably. And yeah, it's I think quite a nice method. I think I'm just going to go back over and top stitch it through, so that when it's buttoned up, you see less of the white tape. But you know, I always make sure that bit's at the bottom anyway. So yeah, I just want to close it up a bit more there. But other than that, it's done, and I love it. Isn't it pretty? A massive big quilt in the Irish chain. That would look gorgeous. You might want to probably make the squares a bit bigger, because these are inch squares, so they're quite fiddly. So my strips were cut 1.5 inches, and using 1/4 inch seam allowance, that brings it down to 1 inch finished. It looks lovely on this because it's a smaller item. But I just wanted to have a play with patchwork and just play with my sewing machine. I think, do you know Rachel from Sew Amy? She's Sew Amy on Instagram, and she has a podcast as well, and she makes some beautiful bags and pouches and purses to store knitting bits in, you know, like needles and crochet hooks, and she just makes some lovely things. And yeah, I followed Rachel for a long time when I used to read a lot of blogs. I don't read so many blogs now. I dip in and out of my blog loving app to catch up on a few things, but yeah, probably less than what I used to. But yeah, I've followed Rachel for a long time, and she's lovely. And you know, she sent me a message a while ago about how it's nice to just have a little fabric play and create something really gorgeous. So yeah, I have started to write up a pattern for this, and I don't know whether anybody be interested in getting the pattern from me so that they can make their own, but it's kind of half done. Yeah, I'd say about half done. So that's something I may finish off if people are interested about how to make this cushion. My son was sitting on it, squashing it. He likes to come in here in my hobby room, and as I'm now calling it, and he comes in with the kitten and plays. So he was sitting, I was like, get off, stop squashing it. I haven't shown it on my podcast yet. So yeah, my Irish chain cushion. If you can see, let me show you, there's a little, yeah, you can just see him, can't see him properly, but a little Peter Rabbit fabrics. Yeah, he seems to have his head cut off in all the ones, but yeah. I wanted it to look quite traditionally patchwork, you know, just using different odd bits, different colours and shades and tones, and I'm delighted actually, it's come out just how I wanted it. Yeah, so that's that to show you. I made myself the rush cutter dress, and the pattern design is in folds. So here's the pattern. And what's quite nice, I mean, I have made this version, but if I show you the back, it's got a nice sleeveless version as well, which you can have a belt on, and that's really sweet. So I may find some fabric to make that with. Now, I purchased this from the Draper's Daughter, which is a fabulous website. Look at the camera, not at yourself. It's a fabulous website because I think the lady that owns it is called Karen. I hope I haven't made a mistake, but she stocks some wonderful fabrics, some really beautiful prints, really gorgeous. And yeah, I could easily find many options to sew this pretty dress, but I did make that version first, view A, which is the one on the front. And the fabric I also bought from the Draper's Daughter as well. It's Essex linen, in colour taupe. So here's the dress. I'll have to insert some pictures of it hanging up, or if I'm feeling really brave, me wearing it. It's got these gorgeous deep pockets. It's got a lovely deep hem, and I've used some print to make my own binding to neaten that off. I've used that round the neck as well, and also around the cuffs. And I've turned these cuffs up so you can see it, because I think it looks really nice. This linen is beautiful. I love it. Absolutely love it. The zip at the back, it's a concealed zip. And the one I use, just because I've got a few zips hanging around, but this was the closest colour I'd got to the colour of the fabric. It's kind of, I've had it for ages, can't remember where I got it from, but it's kind of got a lace effect down there. So it might be something, really you should have it as a feature, but it's sort of a feature inside, and that's okay. Yeah, lots of nice top stitching on there, which I like. Just did a foot's width top stitching down here, down the raglan bits, around the yoke, and there's the seams. This seam runs on the side, on the front and the back, and that's what has the pocket on it. So yeah. Oh yeah, I've used that binding on the inside of the pockets as well. So it's all nice and neat. Yeah, I haven't actually tried this on yet. I finished it a little while ago. I think it's because it has been very hot. It's turned cooler now, but recently it's been quite hot, and this feels more of a autumn dress to me. So I'd probably wear it with tights and ankle boots. Oh yeah, that'd be really nice. And also, I showed you my Nurmalintu shawl, didn't I, last time? I'll just get it. And I think it looks really nice with this. It goes so well that I probably will wear it together, wear them together. I think that looks really, really nice. But yeah, it just feels a bit more autumnal to me. So that's why I haven't worn it, but I haven't actually tried it on either. So I hope it fits. But yeah, it's going to be a nice comfortable dress. But yeah, getting this pattern out to show you now makes me want to think about some fabric for that dress, because that's more summery, isn't it? And very pretty. In fact, I could make something that I could wear to work. But yeah, the rush cutted dress from In the Folds. And I got both the pattern and the fabric from the Draper's Daughter. I'm going to have to pop back on the website in a bit and have a look what she's got. Yeah. So, there's that. The other thing that I was going to show you, which is a finished sewn dress, is a little dress I've made for my daughter Lena. And I've done a little interview with her, so I'll show you that now.
Today we're going to be asking questions about this lovely dress right here, number E. And this is the pattern, and it's very nice because it has a long like skirt thing, and the lining on the neck is very nice.
So I made Lena this dress in blue marl jersey, and she's wearing it now, and it's McCall's pattern M7079. And do you like the dress that I made you, Lena?
Yes, I do.
What do you like about it?
I like the back bit where it has the cut in the back.
Should we turn you around so you can see that? That's right, and if you put your arms down, it goes like the shape of Superman, doesn't it? Yeah. What else do you like about it?
I like how it's a long and flowing dress that when you spin around it goes all out and you can see it like a big flower.
Yeah. And do you like the colour? What is your favourite colour?
My favourite colour is going to be baby pink.
Baby pink, but you quite like the blue dress.
Yeah.
It does match with your eyes, doesn't it? Can you see? Yeah. Is there anything you don't like about the dress?
The thing I don't really like about the dress is that I feel like the sleeves are not very long or something like.
So you would have preferred a long sleeve dress?
Not a long sleeve dress, just like one up to here or something.
Okay. Or 3/4 length as well. That looks quite
Maybe.
nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But is it quite comfortable?
It's very comfortable because it's very big. You know that it's very comfortable. All the big things are very comfortable.
Okay. And is there anything else you want to say about the dress?
Not really.
Okay. Say bye to everyone. Thank you, Lena. Bye. So just a little bit more detail about the dress I made for Lena. As I said, it's McCall's M7079 and it's an easy pattern, and it's designed for both jersey and woven cotton because you've got the circular skirts and then you've got the gathered skirt as well. So that's quite a nice pattern to have. It goes up to age 14. So that's good. I think I made the age 10 for Lena because she's nearly 8, but she's quite big for her age, and also I wanted it to last a bit. So yeah, I just thought I'd show you a bit of detail on the inside. So to make the shape in the back, so this dress is inside out now, you've got a little facing which I've overlocked around the edge. It's also got some interlining on there to keep it firm. I've overlocked around the edge and sewed on and just did a top stitch there. Most of the seams I've just done as an overlock, but obviously that back one is an open seam, so I just neatened the edges and sewed it. When I'm sewing with jersey, I can adjust the differential on the overlocker so everything goes through nice and flat, but I don't use a normal stitch on the sewing machine. I actually use a little zigzag stitch, a very small one, because otherwise the stitches would crack when you pulled it, and the whole point of jersey to have stretch in it. But where you don't want stretch, like for instance the shoulder seams here, I've put a bit of ribbon as I've sewn it, and that keeps it nice and firm and not stretchy. But obviously you do want it stretchy in other places. So for instance the neck edge and the sleeve edge, I've overlocked first and then turned and done a zigzag there, which gives it a bit of stretch, and the stitches don't crack. That's the same actually on the hem of the dress. Done exactly the same all the way around the hem. So yeah, quite a simple dress, simple design really. I guess you could do it without doing the back feature because the neck's plenty big enough to get over the head. So you could leave the back hole out altogether if you wanted to go something very plain, particularly if you've got a nice jersey with a pattern on. I think that would be nice. But as this is a plain fabric, it's got a bit of marl effect in it, but it's basically plain blue, sort of royal blue. I thought that back opening was quite sweet and added a bit of detail. But yeah, so that's a little dress I made for Lena.
Catch up and crochet. Come here, let's catch up and crochet. Come here, let's catch catch up and crochet.